we interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Warning. The following program contains explicit language and mature content. It is not meant for the easily offended. So if you are an emotional pussy, please refrain from listening. Thank you and enjoy.
Oh yeah, welcome back, boys and girls. Yeah. The Words on Fire podcast. Your boy Cujo. The whole fucking clan is back together. We got my boy Jules. We got a special guy, Vince. Has been out for a minute. I forgot you even part of this shit. He's been dealing with a bunch of shit, so
the herpes flare up and all that.
Yeah, the herpes flare up is a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Flare up and that happens to the best of us, dog. I'll get you the name of a doctor. Don't forget to follow us on the Instagram at the Words on Fire podcast, on the IG, the wordsonfire.com for our internets. For our that's our website, right? Yeah, that's our website.
Sounds right.
Yeah. For those of you all watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up. What else is there? There's a bell notification, all that shit. Be part of the fucking the ever quick growing community that we got here of this debacle that we call our podcast. So now the man of the hour, it was special to have him here for Veterans Day. I know we had talked about getting him on. Salute to all the veterans for serving and those who have given the ultimate sacrifice. Salutes. We got a person who's running for city office pretty soon, and it's kind of weird because this is going to be a first for us, right? We've had strippers. Yeah. We've had people who've been in and out of jail. We've had people who have been wrongly convicted. Now we have the real crooks, the fucking politicians. We take everybody.
Hey, now we're really gonna get fucked.
Yeah, now we're really gonna get fucking hit on.
I'll strip first, and I'll make
Fucking make yourself comfortable, bro.
Right, whatever we gotta do. So we got a Richard Geneta. Rich, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being a sacrificial lamb.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for
having me. All right, man. So remember, so it's just like when you're trying to get in the office, you got to hold the mic like it's a dick. It's got to come to your mouth a little bit closer. Pretend it's one of your constituents. So you can lie to that motherfucker.
I'm telling you, good dick. Just give me some money.
Just vote blue.
There you go, all the way down,
or purple, whatever.
Right, just make eye contact. Let's vote. Rich, so tell the people a little bit about yourself. I know you're also a fellow podcaster.
I am.
What is the name of your podcast?
The El Paso Beat.
So, the El Paso Beat. What's the El Paso Beat about?
It's I wanted to
beaters.
I wanted to get El Paso more engaged with local politics. This stemmed from my involvement with some local campaigns. I supported Veronica Carvajal for mayor in 2020.
Okay.
And then Aaron Montes for city representative. Aaron Montes and I went to middle school together. And so when I saw he was running, I had no buy-in on local politics whatsoever. Right. I didn't care.
Aaron Montes, is that the dude who wanted to go play for the fucking Redskins?
No.
It's another Montes?
The Washington football team, you mean?
Yeah.
No, ain't no Redskins no more, bro.
That guy. Yeah. No, is that right? Is that not?
That's not cool no more. No.
Why?
That's not cool no more.
That's not cool.
Why?
Because they changed the name. There ain't no fucking Redskins no more.
Pussies. Yeah. All right. And then, sorry, dude.
No, that's fine.
About this.
And so I really supported his campaign because we went to middle school together.
Right.
And so
did you guys stay friends since middle school or
Facebook friends?
Okay.
Like, he was
so
a reporter.
No. So no.
He's a reporter, and so I would like read his articles and watch his work and stuff like that. But as far as like interacting and stuff like that, not really. No, we didn't hang out or anything.
Okay.
But when I saw he was running, like he was passionate about running, I was like, okay, well, like city stuff like that matters. Like your vote matters in the city races. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna help him out because coming off or around that time, I was coming off of supporting Andrew Yang during his presidential run, and that didn't go the way I wanted.
It's my boy.
And gang,
and gang bang.
And so I had this energy, and so I was like, I want to help. I want to make a difference. I want to help someone make a difference. And Aaron was trying to do that, so I canvassed with him. I knocked doors and dropped flyers with him. And when I was working with him, he was telling me about why he was running and the issues that he was seeing as a reporter. And so after he lost and after Vettel lost, I was kind of reflecting. I was like, well, what the fuck? Because like these were some like awesome people who
Right.
like had great ideas. What was the problem? Well, COVID was a problem. Like,
Okay.
campaigning during COVID sucked.
Yeah.
And, like that was rough.
Makes your balls grow too. Anyway, that's
That's the shit.
and
That's
so-
how the vaccine does.
oh yeah, the vaccine.
Oh, we got
No,
to
hold
talk
on.
about the
No,
vaccine.
before we
We're
go,
gonna
we
get into
can't
the
mention
vaccine.
you
the
can't-
vax.
Yeah.
What?
We can't mention the vaccine. We've already gotten like 2 strikes on YouTube. For
we can't-
Oh,
we can't-
really?
we can't
Yeah.
No,
say
that was a
COVID.
rumor though.
we got
I
strikes.
wonder why.
We got strikes.
Oh no.
Can we say vax or we can't say vaccine?
Just call it
or
the
vax?
poke.
The poke. The
Yeah,
jab.
we could do that. We do that. I think that's
poke?
good. Yeah,
The stab.
the stab, the shank, the shank.
Well, it's not true.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's
Go ahead.
fine.
Continue.
The Bill Gates.
Yeah, Bill-
yeah.
Sorry. And so I thought, okay, well, we need more engagement. That's the first problem. People don't talk about local politics. People don't care about local politics. I was one of those people. I didn't give a shit about mayor. I didn't vote
Right.
for mayor before Veronica. I knew Margot had taken over after Lisa, and I knew Lisa was out because of some health stuff, and I knew Lisa was coming back, and I had an opinion about that too. But
Such a good boy.
I didn't care. And
Yeah.
like, why should I? Like, I'm working 2 jobs. I was putting myself through school to become a teacher. Like, I had other shit to worry about. I'm not going to worry about local politics. I rent. I don't even have property taxes to worry about.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it was the furthest thing from my mind. And getting involved with those campaigns like made me see like it is a big deal. People have to get involved. People have to pay attention, because if you don't, you start getting fucked.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at.
Well, just to ask, how old are you right now?
29. I turned
29?
30 in January.
Okay.
And so
Does that sway your vote?
No, it has a,
I hope-
No, just asking.
nothing with that. Just 'cause
No.
because it's when it comes to politics, it's rare that you see anyone like in their early 20s or anything like that. So when you were describing that was the first thing from my mind. I'm like, it's believable, because during that time, a lot of 20-year-olds don't really veer towards politics.
Yeah.
It's if they do, it's because they're in college, and then they're veered towards like the wokeness
and,
part
and,
of the politics.
and they're
Yeah.
like bred for it.
Yeah,
like they're,
right.
like they're
That's like
really
the
part
hippie
of that
stage or
establishment.
something.
yeah.
Still trying to figure each other out.
The experimenting stage. You know?
And to come out of that stage and be like, oh, I want to serve.
Yeah.
I want to do the job like correctly, the way it should be done. But that's besides the point. I figured at the beginning or at the end of 2020, the beginning of 2021, people aren't engaged. How do we get more people engaged? Well, I would get engaged by wating John Oliver. I love Last Week Tonight.
Shit.
I
Okay.
think he's hilarious.
Hell yeah. Yep,
And he
yep,
covers
yep.
good topics. He covers topics well and breaks things down well, and I admire that. As an educator, as someone who wants to help engage people, I like Chris Hayes, his journalistic work, and then he hosts a show on MSNBC. There's Ari Melber, who like brings together news, law, and pop culture really well.
How about Sean Hannity? Are you into Sean Hannity?
No.
Tucker Carlson?
No.
Tucker Carlson.
Fuck Tucker Carlson.
Ted Carlson. Who's that?
No, Tucker Carlson.
Who's Ted Carlson?
I didn't say Ted. I said Tucker.
I do.
That's
and
Ted Cruz.
I'll run this head on. I swing like progressive. Like I.
So you're a swinger.
Oh yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, for real. Because like
All right.
Biden. Fuck Biden. Like I'm
Yes.
not happy with a lot of the stuff that Biden's done. You know, and going into the Biden Trump thing, like I knew Biden in my mind was a one-term president because I didn't want Biden either. I wanted Yang, or at least someone who was going to bring some real change and new ideas and things.
You
like
love
that.
you some
And so-
Yang.
You know,
Yeah, say gangbang.
I'm not gonna deny it. I'm kind of like a Yang shill for
You're a groupie.
you know, yeah, a little bit. It's true. I'm a bit of a fanatic. I'm not gonna deny it. Now I don't
That's a
agree with
groupie.
everything. Like you know, like the Israel tweet, like that was stupid as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
that was messed up. And you know, he's. I wish he would take stronger stances on some things and other things. And I don't want to talk about Yang this whole hour though.
He's an independent
but
now, though, right?
Yeah, he started a
he
third
started his
party.
own party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he already
The forward
lost.
party, and I
So he already lost.
You know,
Okay.
you'd be surprised.
Nah, he's gonna lose.
And I I probably self-identify as a forward progressive. You know,
Okay.
forward first, and then like
Yeah.
you know
That's your
I-
pronoun?
Forward first.
That's how
Forward first.
I like that.
that's how we're going.
I go in head first.
All right, so you're going to be running for a city rep, right? For a District 5 out here in El Paso. And I know you're talking about how some of the districts are going to be reorganized and rebranded or whatnot. What exactly is the job of a city rep?
So there are only a handful of things that you have to do as city rep.
Okay.
You have to show up at the city council meeting. You have to show up at the work session.
That's it? That's fucking
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So
like-
how often
And then
is
what
that?
happens there?
Is that like every day or
Every-
is that
every 2
once
weeks.
every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
You
Okay.
you can have like a handful of miss outs, like call outs or whatever. You can attend virtually, and
No.
but like you have to show up for those things, and that's pretty much it. Now, having like town hall engagement and meeting with constituents, that's all on the individual. That's like the person, if they're stepping up and they're saying, I'm going to do all this stuff, that's on them. The only thing they have to do is show up to the meetings and vote.
Okay.
That's it. So, like, I didn't want to run a campaign. I didn't want to run a campaign of like, I'm gonna throw dirt at these people because I didn't want to run a dirty campaign.
We will
That's
right now.
not
We will right now.
Go for it. And you know what? And I'm
Let's get some shots.
I'm all for going into the facts of it because Yang ran a positive campaign. That's a campaign that I ideally would like to run.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that we were in the middle of a pandemic and everyone was doing virtual everything, and my representative wasn't doing virtual anything.
Okay.
I mean, there weren't any kind of town halls or community outreach or engagement or like, hey, the vaccine is safe. This is the science. This is why you can trust it. Like, there's not even an attempt. When it came to we can get into it. I'd love to get into it. When
He has
when
a
the whole
vein
mask
right here that's
thing-
just fucking.
when the mask thing was a big thing, talking to stores, like to her credit, at one point she claimed to have a meeting with the big box stores about like their mandates and things like that. And that's great, but she did that in October, like after like it had spiked here. The pandemic started in March. I'm like, what are you doing that whole time? Now, again, like I don't want to like play dirty, but here are the facts. Isabel Salcido owns bars.
Yeah.
I'm sure that had no real sway.
Well, she used to be a bartender. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, and so it's,
Awesome.
I'm sure
Awesome.
that like
Well, sorry, dude, you
had-
lost.
that
Sorry,
She can
Rick.
pour some
you
shit.
know,
She's going the AOC route.
Yeah, she's good. That is, Applebee's straight to the White House.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Not hanging with that.
but like I just feel that a city representative should be their first loyalty should be to the people they serve. And even if like how do you say that as a business owner you're not looking out for your people, you're not looking out for your employees, especially during a pandemic? Of course you were. Like there is no good way for you to talk yourself out of that position. And so the way I saw it was, well, then I will step in and relieve you of that position because I don't have those ties.
Right.
I wanted to be a teacher. Like I wanted to live my life in a kind of service, and this is just a way to make that happen more successfully.
Now, quick question.
You're willing to take the
now,
pressure.
as a city representative, are you allowed to own businesses? Are you allowed to have stake in the business? Yeah?
Now, like, there's when it comes to like votes on certain stuff like that, like you should abstain from, depending like if your vote has something to do with your business and stuff like that. There are cases where she has abstained from certain votes because of like and stuff like that. Should.
Right.
If people are like watching their people
Which is
enough, and it's like
it's not going to stop her from trying to talk to other representatives and try and sway their vote as well, right? Or she should abstain from that as well.
that's on. I think that's on an individual thing. Like,
Because that's the whole thing. That's the whole case against having like lobbyists, basically.
Well,
no?
yeah,
So-
exactly.
So they don't have
Yeah.
to do the dirty work.
yeah.
So when on your podcast, did you get a chance to actually? Have you reached out to who is it? What's her name? Salcedo? Isabel?
Oh yeah. I actually had a so at the very beginning, I was real naive and thought, oh man, I'm gonna start this podcast and it's gonna be for the people and I'm gonna pay for it out of my pocket and I'm gonna do all the work and I'm gonna invite all the city reps and it's gonna be like a news thing and they'll be like, oh, I want to get on the El Paso beat to talk about this issue, and then we're gonna debate and have real discussions and
Right.
engage El Paso. Fuck no, did that No, are you kidding me? They treated me like I was press, because I am press. Like I've come to finally accept that, like, podcasts are like media, independent media, but still media, and so politicians, each individual, are going to treat that as they would individually treat media. So I have had at the very beginning, I reached out to all the city reps and the mayor, and I was like, hey, I'm doing this show. Come on, talk about yourself. all of my first episodes with city reps, and when they come on, like I'm super friendly, super not aggressive or like
You're setting them up.
Well, a little bit, a little bit, because like I want you to feel comfortable. I don't want you to feel like
attacked.
Right, like I am just the other press, or like I am gonna just like take your words out of context and try to make $1 off of it. That's not what my show is about. And so I have to build the trust, and I accept that I have to build the trust. So that first episode's real easy. Talk to me about yourself. Why did you get into politics? What do you care about? What are you trying to accomplish? And then like if they're willing to come back on, which like I haven't had a rep come on and be like, nope, never again. You know, I've had scheduling conflicts and things like that. But you know, I've had Rep Hernandez, who's actually probably one of the less popular reps, multiple times on the show, and then I've had other reps onto the show as well. And Salcido, though, when I reached out to her office, and I was like, hey, like you're my city rep, so like put some effort into this, you know. And it took a month for her office to get back to me, and they're like, we think this is a great thing you're doing, we'll get back to you next month.
Nice.
Okay, all right, cool. So I waited, and then I actually like started working on other stuff, and so I actually didn't hear back from them or contact with them. I started in January. I didn't hear from them in February. I reached out in March, and I was like, yo, so what's up? Let's do this. We'll get back to you next month. Okay, sounds good. Whenever you're free, like I will move my schedule around.
Yeah.
We'll have you on. Okay. And the next month comes around. Well, we're looking at next month. Okay, so next month, just tell me at the beginning of the month when she's free for that month and the month after. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I was like, I want her on my show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care when. Fit me into the schedule, and I'll make it work so that I can have her on my show. Like, I'm trying to do something here. And then I got a letter, an email from her.
Oh, wow.
From her.
From her. Okay. What she said?
Well, I could quote it. I have it. I posted it on my Instagram.
It's
essentially,
it's okay. You can go ahead and paraphrase this.
Yeah, paraphrase.
It's essentially, I know you've been trying to have me on your show, and I don't appreciate the tone you've taken with my office people, and I don't think I'm no longer considering coming onto your show, and I will think about it and listen, and if I change my mind, I'll let you know.
That's very cunty. That's very cunty. Just saying. Especially for her being your representative.
That's your representative.
Now, in my defense, in her defense, I did snap at her on social media after like a couple of months of waiting. I snapped on
before this
Twitter.
email?
Before this email, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
so when you say snapped, what did you say?
So I said, there's this profile.
Did you call her a
bio
cunt?
No,
Because that's not gonna help.
profile that I read that said, cyberbully your local politicians.
Oh shit!
And I was like, hell yeah. Fuck yeah, you should cyberbully your local like your local politician should be like the most accountable person to you. Like you can't call Biden and bitch at him about what's going on. And I understand that.
Right.
But your city representative like absolutely should take that phone call from you. And if they're not going to take it every day, that's fine. They can't even take it
at least
every
once a week.
At least like that's the bare minimum. Like take
This
or
is bullshit
make
call
some
tape.
effort. Like you know, like okay, I can't talk to you this week. I'll talk to you next week. Like see you again next time. Like
designate Tuesdays for phone calls.
Yeah, and stuff like stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that I want to do. I want to have like a designated time where it's like you want to talk to me, I will be right here at this time. Tell me what's on your mind, and like all the time. And I want to have
Traffic.
that consistent. You know,
Traffic
there's
here.
a bunch of shit. There's a ton of stuff, and until someone actually sits down and starts sifting through all that stuff and actually putting in the effort to getting it all taken care of, it's not going to get any better. It's all going to keep compounding. And so, that was my effort to bring Rep Salcido on. Oh, and so I saw that, and so I in response to the cyberbully inspiration, I started pushing. I got pushier, and I was like, that's when I said, give me your schedule for the next 2 months. That was my cyberbullying. And then I posted my comments on the Twitter, and that was it. That's
yeah, no, that's cunty. That's for 2 months. Come on.
And then a little bit after that, she posted a picture as a meme, and I'm sure you've seen it, the two parakeets and the little one that looks all like fuzzy and messed up. and then the bigger one is like next to it, like its mom, and it's like, oh, when your Mexican mom used to hit you, and then someone would come to the door or something like that. And then she captioned it like Mexican mom love. Now, like, I've got thick skin and I've got a sense of humor. Like, I get it. My mom smacked me. Well, my dad smacked me more than my mom, but like
That's a whole different.
that's a whole other thread to pull. But it's like she takes my being pushy about getting an interview. Oh, and I had said, "Are you scared of me?" I had said,
Yeah,
that.
maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what.
I
that's
had
certain
said,
wording.
Are you scared of me? But like the way I had meant it was like, are you scared of me? Like me? Like I'm nothing. Like I'm just this one guy with a handful of followers on a podcast. Like,
Right.
Are you holding me to the same level as the established press? And like, you won't give me that time of day? Like, that was how I meant it. And if she did take it, she did take it apparently the other way, and I did apologize for it. I responded to her letter on my podcast, and I actually like go through like section by section of that letter and like respond to
each sentence.
to it. And I kind of got thrown off track. What were we talking about?
I can feel the hate.
Yeah.
hate.
She's avoiding you.
There's a lot of there is a lot of frustration with her because I just feel like there's a. All right, I'm gonna get dramatic. I'm gonna really get dramatic.
Oh,
Okay, let's
shit.
do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna cry. Hold on. I want to make sure the mic's close because I don't want to miss this. If you're gonna get dramatic, we gotta.
Okay.
And
Tears
scene.
coming out or what's
people are super against politics right now because it's super divisive. I get that, and that's happening on a national level, right? But that all trickles down.
Yeah.
That all starts at a city level. Like I said, like your city representative should be the most responsive. And I'm of the opinion that right now the United States is facing probably some of the roughest times since the Civil War. And if we're going to get people through that, we need all levels functioning at 100%. And that's not happening.
But isn't it kind of hard to have everybody all of a sudden 100% when when everything when the norm is the 10%?
Yeah.
And because if you give it 100%, you're gonna fuck yourself over by actually saying something that you shouldn't say because it's gonna happen, especially with the fucking cameras everywhere, the cell phones, the video. Something's gonna come out, and then you're gonna be fucked. There goes your re-election just because you wanted to give your 100%.
Maybe.
Really?
But I think at this time in our society, in this timeline where we're at, this is the time where it's like you just balls to the walls, man.
Yeah, but
Throw the dice and put it all out there and put some faith that people are actually paying attention. A lot of people are paying attention. A lot more paying attention now than ever have been. So if ever a strategy like mine is going to work, it's going to be now.
You see, but with everybody having the thought of the establishment already saying that no matter what we say, no matter what we do as constituents, these guys are going to pretty much do, the people in charge are going to do whatever the fuck's going to favor them the most. Because at the end of the day, their pockets get fatter than ours, right? Because for whatever fucking reason. That's been politics since day one. So with people already having that mindset that it's not gonna matter as far as what I have to say, I could see where the representative Salcedo would be like, you know what? At the same time, you got to think about how many different people have hit her up for the same thing. You know what I mean? And just because I favor one person over the other, well, of course, one's gonna get mad, the other one isn't because I'm gonna give them my time. So to be realistically give it 100% and give everybody that attention is almost damn near impossible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're in a fucking pandemic.
Sure.
Especially when you're too busy worried about your bars.
Sure.
You got to get your bartending, you got to work on your drinks and shit. I get that.
Mixology.
But I mean, it's kind of hard to, because whenever a politician talks, 99% of what they say is full of shit. The other 1%, you can't fucking believe them. So you know what I mean? It's a thin line. It's a hard line.
Yeah.
And there are people that have
99.
good intentions, right?
99.9.
Yeah. They have good intentions and you want to believe them. But history shows you can't. The moment you do, that's when shit hits the fan.
All right, so you're 100% right.
Mm.
Like, I'm not going to push back on any of that. And any person listening to this who's like, this guy's full of shit. Like, politics,
Yeah.
You're right. Politics is full of shit, and politicians are full of shit, and, like, it's all bullshit. They're all going to do whatever the fuck they want. You're right. Like, you have tons and tons of evidence to believe and feel that way. And any reasonable, logical person would look at this and be like, nah, this is just a waste of time. I'm not going to get involved. Well, I guess I'm just not logical in that sense and reasonable in that sense. I have the faith that, like, it all stems from personal responsibility too.
Okay.
That it got to this point because we let it get to this point. And if we start putting in the work, we can fix it. But we're not putting in the work. We're just looking at this mess and saying it's not gonna be cleaned up.
Right.
It's too hard.
Just
It's
leave it
never
as
gonna-
is.
Right. And that's just quitting.
Yeah.
And, like, I get why people are that frustrated. And you're right to be that frustrated because the system has fucked us for way too long.
Right.
That's why it takes some people to be like, all right, well, I'll go first.
Change it.
I'll shovel the shit first.
Yeah.
Follow after me. And what I want to do is I want to give people a reason to believe in their local representation. And then I'm going to say, like, once I have a bunch of people following me and be like, all right, cool. We're all working in the same direction. Let's start looking at the county. And then, like, focusing on county and fixing county wide. And then we, like, once we have enough voices collected, El Paso County has like 800,000, close to 1 million, maybe some odd. El Paso County, the whole wide. I mean, Georgia's election was tipped by a county comparable size to El Paso. Could you imagine if people were talking about El Paso's sway on Texas elections the way they were focusing on Atlanta and Georgia?
Yeah.
Like, it's, I mean, granted, they're Austin and Houston and San Antonio that have all these, they have a ton of people, sure. But, like, we have a lot of people, too.
Yeah.
They just don't show up.
Well, no, the
And we
majority
all-
of us are fucking illegal. So we can't. Our voices really don't count.
They're just not
We
documented.
have a lot of unofficial.
Yeah, we're
unofficial.
unofficially huge.
I won't comment on that. But
We're unofficially huge.
Yeah. I think we're
I
a
would
lot
say
bigger than what
unofficially
they.
we're bigger than that. Fine.
Yeah.
But the point is that we have the voting numbers. We have the voting power.
The numbers
we
were
just
fake
need
news.
someone to rally behind and someone
Right.
to, like, you know, really push for that change to come. Because until someone's actually pushing for it, it's never going to.
Yeah. We see the way I see it, because, like, I know how we were talking earlier about how Andrew Yang, how he's now an independent or he's on his own thing, and that I told you he's already going to lose because he is. Because it's either red, blue, and there's not going to be.
Yeah, there's no.
There's
third
not
party.
ever going to be a third party because
That's strong.
the powers that be are not going to allow it to happen. Because if you allow that, then you can allow several other things to happen,
The
which
man.
are going to go against what's better for them, right? Because they've been at it since the turn of time. What you need to do is be like Ross Perot and be like a crazy little fucker. Because that dude was actually close. I think he's the one that's
Yeah.
closest as far as an independent. That motherfucker had some shit going. This is back in what, 80?
No,
No,
90.
92, right? 90, 92, something like that.
Yeah.
You got to be a little wild like that son of a bitch. Yeah, that son of a bitch was crazy, but he was effective.
I liked him.
Yeah, he was effective because you could like him.
Yeah.
He's very likable.
Like, this dude's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Have you listened to Yang? How is Yang not likable?
Well, he lost.
is
It's the
it.
same way, just like who's your other boy? The fucking dude, like 300 years old.
Oh, Barry Sanders.
Yeah, Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders. That's a
Bernie Sanders.
Barry Sanders is a running back.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
Bernie Sanders.
I can't see Bernie going to fucking for 60 yards,
The
guys.
dude that has the mitts.
I'm talking about Barry Sanders.
He's sitting there with the
Yeah,
mitts
talking
on.
about Barry Sanders.
Nah, Bernie Sanders can't run no fucking 40-yard dash, God. Come on now.
Hey, man. I think he can.
Yeah,
Have you seen him in the fucking airport?
If you
I've
told
seen him
him
lazy
Medicare
that shit.
for All is on the end of it, he might do it.
I've seen him sitting down with little mitts and shit, all pissed off, like an old lady.
Just put some nitrous oxide on that fucking wheelchair.
He's gone, son.
He's likable,
gone.
though.
Fucking Fast and the Curious.
Yeah, but Fast and the Curious.
He's crazy as fuck.
But that's the thing, though, is like you have people that are likable. Like I think Bernie should have been. I think he should have won against.
Okay, all right.
He should have gone
Well,
against.
first
Trump
of all,
and
Bernie
won
got fucked over
by his
twice.
own establishment.
Twice.
By
yeah,
his
so-
own establishment that he claimed that
that's-
he is a part of.
So,
So-
saying that he will lose right off the back or anything, anyone that says that he will lose right off the back, he never had a chance.
No,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
because
So, like,
he's,
so we
he's
never
not
know.
part of the establishment, even
Yeah,
though he
so-
says he is when it counts, and when it doesn't count, he's like, no, well, I'm not of them. Fuck them. But then when it's time for him to get elected, like, oh, I'm all about you guys. Motherfucker, you were saying that for the last 20 fucking years, dog. You know what I mean? And that's the issue that I'm saying about being believable with people.
Sure, but I'm gonna push back. That's like national level, and I'm not denying that any of us wrong.
Well, we're not gonna stop.
But that's why
we're shooting for the stars here, Rich.
No. You're right. We are shooting for the stars, and shooting for the stars is city rep, and like I'm not trying to represent millions of people. I'm not trying to represent. No, I want no.
Every journey begins with a step, right?
All right. So if there are multiple timelines where like, you know, I do such a good job as a city rep, people are like, you should be mayor, you should be in Congress or whatever. It's like, if the people really want that, like, okay, maybe, but that's not what I want. What I want to teach.
Okay,
that is like from the get go. Like I'm still on this mission to teach. The only reason I'm going after the city rep position is because I believe that the city is heading in a direction where I won't be able to teach successfully, where my students are going to be going home like at risk of not having dinner on the table because like we're at risk of losing jobs. We haven't talked about this, but all right. Yang's big thing is the fourth industrial revolution. One of his things is the fourth industrial revolution. And El Paso is not adequately aware of just how hard it's going to hit us. If you know someone who's in truck driving, if you know someone who's in the call center, those jobs are like heading out the door. Right. We have automated trucks and AI. You know, that Spectrum deal that we just got, 900 jobs, $20 an hour jobs, fantastic, great. I hope people go out and get those jobs and work and stimulate the economy, great. But in a handful of years, when Spectrum gets approached by Google and Google says, hey, for X amount of money, you can get an AI that will replace all your call center workers. How fast are they going to do it?
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
But that's and those 900 people are going to lose their job. When automated trucks start driving, and I don't remember exactly where, but Walmart is already dabbling with this as of a couple of weeks ago. That they're experimenting with having some of their freights delivered by automated trucks. When that becomes the norm,
that's a disaster.
That is going to wreck the economy, local economy too. When Amazon with its warehouse wipes out retail here because everyone can get 1 day shipping on all their Amazon shit, and then like all of our local retail goes up dry. Like, those are a ton of retail jobs. And fast food jobs are getting automated, too.
Yep.
So what happens when all these jobs are gone, and our property taxes are super high, and nobody has jobs, nobody has money, and, like, we're all just screwed. We're the next Detroit. Like, no, that's unacceptable.
Right.
And I can't teach. I can't, like, go into teaching and be like, okay, I'm going to teach these kids, and I'm going to, like, prepare them for the world, and then they're going to go home to, like, this shithole that I've sat by and watched happen. No, like I'm going in so that I can do my part to do the job right, get us on a direction that's not going to happen, or at least as far from that as possible. And then once I've done my part, someone else takes over, hopefully follows my example, and I go to teaching.
No, but as a city rep, how much pull would you have for that not to happen? Because if you have because it's what, like 8?
It's 1 out of 8.
8 districts, right?
Right. Yeah.
1 out of 8 districts, because the majority of them are going to be getting kickback somehow. Because that's the way it always works, right? There's always what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Is that what it is?
Something like
that. Something about goose.
Can't fool me twice. Can't fool
right. Fool me once, shame on me.
Shame on me twice.
Can't be fooled like again. Can't be fooled again.
You know what I'm talking about.
You know the thing.
Yeah,
the thing.
Yeah.
You're right.
Makes sense to me.
It's just one. I'm just 1 vote out of 8,
right.
and there are oligarchs in El Paso. We do have billionaires who weigh in on our local politics.
Right.
And you know, I'll throw it out there because it's a fact. On the meeting not this past meeting, 2 meetings ago, Rep Salcido declared over $30,000 from just in campaign contributions from just like a dozen people, all ranging from $1,000 to $5,000.
See, those are tips, bro. She's a bartender, guy.
That's a good night.
Yeah, that's a good night. See,
like, how do I fight that? Like,
so what we're gonna do?
That?
I know a few bar owners. We're gonna get you fucking. We're gonna get you bartending.
Start an OnlyFans.
I've thought about it.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, we're still good now.
Yeah.
OnlyFans is good now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. They came back.
They
Yeah,
back. They
yeah,
back.
Yeah, they changed. They had a change of heart. Change of heart.
Power to the sex workers, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm all for supporting.
They make the world go
So
around.
Yeah.
are you gonna fight to make that legal?
I would definitely. I would support any actions that would like decriminalize sex work and like help protect sex workers. Like
You got my vote, bro.
strippers should have a union. Like sex workers should have a union. Like those girls.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and guys, there are guys sex workers. They all need protection. Like it's
Yeah.
a predatory.
They all need condoms.
Yep. You hear that
It's a
shit?
predatory business
Yeah.
environment. All of it. And I am of the mind. My father was
He was a pimp.
libertarian.
He was a pimp.
My father was libertarian, so he
Yeah,
like
good.
instilled that really in me when I was young, and so
Personal freedom.
Personal freedoms is like really in there, and I do struggle with that, like with a lot of the conversations people.
We're not
bring
going
up
to see any
politically.
videos
And,
like of you in the hotel room or anything like
No.
Oh shit.
Man, do I look like I'm having?
that. I don't know. I'm just saying.
He's just
Do they
getting
have
started, man.
anything?
He's just getting started. Just give him a couple of years.
Hey, it worked for Marion Barry.
Yeah.
It worked for Marion Barry. You can smoke crack and still fucking winning the re-election. That's a bad motherfucker.
So you say your dad was a libertarian. So
Yeah,
what,
so, like,
what do
there's-
you define as?
Well,
What's your pronoun?
Yeah.
my pronouns are he, him.
him.
Are you a
Hims.
Democrat, a liberal, or a progressive? Like what?
Me,
If you were to put a label on yourself, what would it be?
forward progressive.
Forward progressive.
Forward progressive. So Andrew Yang's third party forward first, and I identify most with the policies of progressives.
Okay.
Like I have a lot of respect for like libertarian thought, and personal freedom, women's right to choose. Like I'm all for that. Like, that might come up in the city rep. I don't see why, because
Right.
we have no control over that. But for the record, I don't give a shit. I believe in all women's right to have complete control over their own body. That's it. There's really nothing hard about it.
Yeah.
I also support that right for myself, which is why like I support it for women. So like if you wanted to like tell a woman you can't have sex with people for money, you're telling me I can't have sex with people for money. If someone wants to pay me to have sex with me, I should have the right to take that money. And if I want to make a business out of it, that's my business.
Hell yeah.
There's nothing un-American about that. It's
Facts.
anti-American
That is American.
to stop me from making a business of myself and provide a service. Like I started a very
I would never do that,
humble.
by the way.
I would never do that
I'm
because
open till
I've never gotten any offers. I would
I'd
be
be
offered a
flattered.
lot of money, but
I'd be flattered.
I would be flattered. I did start a small business, autograph fetcher, which is a whole other thing. But it's like I firmly believe that like in and I'm gonna get hit for this one too. Like capitalism, there's good to it. We need to refocus it and create a human-centered capitalism that works for us instead of works us to death. But like capitalism as a structure is like we need it in some way. It drives innovation. It does have a lot of benefit to it. And so
So you're defining it as human capitalism?
human-centered capitalism.
Human-centered capitalism. Okay, so what entails?
Putting
what does that entail?
people at the top of like what we consider like how we measure success. Instead of using like the GDP for measuring like how successful the country is, like we should be talking about like what are our marriage and childbearing rates? What are our health rates? What are our suicide
happiness
rates?
levels.
Happiness levels, depression levels.
we lost. We lost.
I mean, we need to be talking about that because the fact of the matter is that the United States is like at the bottom of a bunch of lists as far as like teaching and
We're the
wellness
greatest.
and-
We're the greatest.
Yeah, we're the greatest at like
sounds like a fancy-
incarcerating people.
sounds like a fancy
and-
word
and
for
buying guns,
communism
and
right
it's
there.
like,
Fancy word of communism.
you know,
Oh,
No,
told you were gonna
I
hit
kid,
it.
I kid, I kid.
No, you don't.
There's no country that's
there's-
officially
there's-
communist. So.
No, yeah, I haven't even like begun to like go into communism, and so like I remember walking around. I have a math mask, which is an Andrew Yang mask, and people like math. It says math. Make America think harder.
Yes.
Oh, that's racist.
And people will ask me about it, and one woman was walking by. She said, "What's the math stand for?" I said, "Oh, it's Andrew Yang. Make America think harder." And she says, "Oh, he's the communist." And then she like turns her head and walks away from me. And I was like, "Whoa!" Like I didn't see that coming.
You can straight up, you know where she gets her news from.
Oh yeah,
just by that.
and
CNN.
it's like
Yeah.
it's,
that's that CNN
oh,
shit.
man. that was a bit of a tangent. Going back to the point, I'm only one vote in a sea of 8. Well, the good thing is that it's not like all of them are unreasonable people. I think that there's like a couple who is like, okay, I'm not going to be able to have real effective conversations, and even then, I'm still going to try. Like one of the first things I want to do really early on, and if I get elected, is like get really fat off of all the lunches I'm going to be having with people, and I'll be like, yo, let's go.
I'm
lunch.
there.
Let's talk. Like not politics, not business. People. What do you want? What are you here for? What are you trying to accomplish? And if like you're just trying to get your nut, well,
Here for
scratch
the
my
T-bone.
back and I'll scratch yours. Like I'm gonna try and get you out, but like you're here, you're gonna be working with me. You obviously you're there. The thing about city representatives too is that nobody does a city rep position for like with just like money in mind, and it's not like just politics. Like there's some love for your city. I believe that even of Isabel Salcido, she loves El Paso like on a level. I believe that wholeheartedly. And all the reps, I believe, on some level, love El Paso.
I'm gonna Google her. I don't know. I don't know who that is.
And you know, you don't go into this without having some love for the city, and that's what I'm going to appeal to. And I think once I tap into that, and once they see, you know, this guy's not like the others, I'll prove it. I'll do the work. I'll earn the trust. And once I do it, I think I'm going to be able to really help get some stuff along.
So how long are the terms for a city rep?
4 years, 2
4
terms,
years.
2-term max.
Two-term max.
When's this go down?
Do all
When's
8
this
have
go
a?
down?
Election is November 2022, so I have a year.
Yeah, we're ahead of the curve.
Yes, we
Do
are.
all 8 have the same salary? Or?
Yes, and I'm glad you brought up salary, because so the salary is based on the median income in El Paso, and I think the last that it was set at was like 43 and change, and that is more money than I make now working 2 jobs.
Right.
So I am going to take that salary. I had a friend who was like, man, if I was running, I would like forfeit the salaries. I can't afford to do that. Like I got rent and bills to pay. Like
Right.
I'm going to take that salary. I'm going to work for that salary. Here's what I am going to do though, because everyone's like, especially recently with Tommy Gonzalez getting that really big raise. Now he's making like $400,000 a year. I'm gonna make it so that my raises are in the hands of my constituents. So like every year when it comes time for my annual raise, the constituents will say like, yes, you deserve the raise. And if you guys decide no, then I don't get a raise. Like I am totally comfortable with putting that in the hands of my constituents. And as numerically, like how many people am I going to get? My goal is to get at least an 80% response of the total amount of people who participate in my district's election. So if I don't have 80% of people saying yes or no, then it's an automatic forfeit. And then if I don't have a majority of that 80% saying yes, then I'll forfeit.
Like, how would you go about getting that vote?
So I have a few ideas. If I have to, I'm willing to do it so that it pops up on the general election every 2 years, and then I'll just forfeit it the 1 year, and then I'll take it the second year, like an average of the 2 or something, and then it'll go up on the regular vote. If I can do that, because that would be the easiest way. If I can't do that, I mean, I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna be in the neighborhoods, like talking to people. I'm gonna be having town meetings at least once every 2 weeks. I want to get to the point where I'm having a town meeting once a week. And one of those meetings is going to be like on an alternating day, different parts of the district. I'm going to be engaging with people. There are different services that you can use, like a texting service, so that like people get a text message and then they can respond to it. Like if I get people to sign up for that, I mean, we could do a newsletter.
Yeah, I get those random text messages.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of different ways that like, well, I mean, but like if it was saying like you get to decide on the raise for your representative, would you respond to that? Even if it was no, just like, fuck this guy.
No,
like,
can you put stop?
That's fine.
You know
but
how you
like,
put stop, like when hey, you want us to stop sending you a message? Yeah, stop.
But
Please and thank you.
I'm going to be looking to anything and every kind of avenue I can to get people as engaged as possible. Right now, I'm worried about making 80% of the people who vote regularly engaged, and so just making myself and my office as accessible as possible. And if it comes down to like, hey, just paper ballots, and then like we verify with your ID, and then like cool. And then we'll go door to door, and I don't care. Like, it's my raise. If I want it that badly, I'll go fight for it. And if I don't get it, then I don't get it. Like,
See, that's where that $30,000 tip comes in. That's why she took that tip.
Yeah, because campaigns are expensive and it's hard. And like, I'm against 2 mountains, not just Isabel Salcido, but Joe Pickett's also running, and he has 30 years worth of donors backing him up, and he's got his own war chest. And he's counting on his name recognition and his past service, which is fine. But do you think that you're going to have more access to Joe Pickett with his name recognition and plenty of money than you will to me when I'm here reaching out to people and doing the work? And I that's where it's at. It's like he's taking this position because he thinks he can accomplish a couple of things, while he's still
alive.
That sounds dark.
I thought he was dead.
Well, he did have cancer. He's in remission.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, that's why he stepped down from his state representative position. He had
fuck cancer.
Yeah, fuck cancer. And I'm so glad that he's doing well. But it's like, on a level, I'm like, dude, you've lived a life. Like, you deserve to retire and be with your family and like.
Maybe he don't like them.
Well, maybe, and maybe he's just a workaholic and like he really wants to do something, and I appreciate that. But I think at this time, I think we need someone in the office who wants to do the work and is going to be there for the job 100% and like do it.
So Salcedo, how long has she been in there already? She's been in there 4 years?
She's going to be, this is her first term, yeah.
Oh, so she's
up for re-election.
Okay, so then after that, she's automatically out, right? Or do you get promoted, or how the fuck does that work after your second term?
Well, after your second term, well, I mean, it's whatever you want to do. So like Peter Schwartzbein is terming out this in 2022. There are rumors, just rumors, that he's running for commissioner seat, possibly.
Okay.
There's a rule that you can't take you can't work for a state office as an employee for a year after being an elected official.
Oh, okay.
And so what I'm thinking after my term, like in that year, that's the year that I would take to get my state certification, and then after that I'd start teaching.
Okay.
It just depends on the individual. Joe Pickett, when he was city representative for his first term, after the first term he went on to being he got elected as a state representative.
Okay.
It just depends. Whatever offices are open and like opportunities come up, people move around and do different things. City rep is very commonly used as a stepping
stone, right?
It's the entry level. It's entry level government representation, and that's why everyone like skips out on doing it well. It's like they're just on to the next thing, and in my mind,
just not ruffling your feathers.
This is it, right? Like this is the job. That's how I'm looking at it.
I'm just curious. Do you know how many people are in your district?
So as of the 2020 census, we're looking at 113 some odd.
God damn.
And do you know how many of them voted?
So in the 2018 for Rep Salcido's election, when she got elected, it was 23 some odd, I believe. 23 some odd thousand. She got no, that's not right. I know she got like half the vote. It was like 20 some odd thousand, because I know, or the number in my mind that I've been working with is that I need at least I used to say 10,000. I've upped it recently to 12,000 because of how much we've grown. In my mind, I keep telling myself I need 12,000 voters, 12,000 supporters to do this, and that's more than she got. I think she got like 9 or 10,000. We don't have high turnout. It's not a big turnout for all those people. It's like a tiny percentage.
That's just politics in general. It is the fact, especially here when it comes to local politics. Once you go vote, there's so many people that you have to vote for. It's like you have no idea who these names are. You have no idea what these positions are, and I think that's the downfall when it comes to politics, is the fact that no one is informed, and there's way too many. Like, everyone has busy lives.
That's why they go all the way down.
You vote by the party. Like fast track. I mean, and that's it. And even then, you personally probably don't agree with that person's views, but just the fact that you agree with this other person who happens to be the same party, it's like just skip it. And just vote for or Democrats or Republicans or whatever.
Imagine if we had a city representative who was doing the work to get people engaged, who was like bringing, like for the podcast for the El Paso Beat, I've had state elective candidates. I've had Lee Merritt and Joe Jaworski, who are both running for state attorney general. And then I've had Mike Collier, who's running for lieutenant governor. And, like El Paso is on the map. They want to come out to El Paso, but it's far. We're out west, and they have Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, all that in that little area. They can just bounce around in there and rack up votes there, and that is the strategy. But because of the podcast, I can at least say, hey, for the next hour, I want you to look at El Paso. I want you to talk about what prove that you're thinking about El Paso and that you're keeping us in mind. And, you know, I'm not very good at it in the sense of like, I'm still building up how to like be a good interviewer, a good journalistic interviewer type for this kind of field.
Same here.
Well, I think you're doing a great job.
Same here.
But the fact that the platform is there and it's already building a kind of reputation with them and like, you know, setting that foundation, if I'm able to take that with me and once I'm in office, I can be like, I can start saying like, hey, I'm a city rep and I have all these thousands of people who are going to start paying attention, and we will make state representatives start paying attention to us, you know. But that's what we need to build that movement up, you know, in order to make that happen.
No.
You know what we need to do to get you to catch fire, get your name caught fire? We need to bring you with Itoshi next time.
Ooh, let's do it.
And we're going to get you... We're going to have you be a fluffer.
Oh!
We'll have you as a fluffer for Itoshi.
Now that's
Because we need... because that's the way we going to get your name out.
that is definitely a dice throw strategy.
You should do it.
And we should... I mean, we'll all do it. But we're not going to fluff each other, though. But,
No.
It's crazy to think that, or to have that mindset. I mean, first of all, you fucked up by being a teacher. And the reason I say that is because I have a lot of family members that are teachers, and
it breaks my heart because I've been going around I've been canvassing and talking to people, and I've had a number of people who are like, you know, and I bumped into an old teacher too. They're like, why teaching?
Yeah.
Why education? No, don't do it.
That
you know,
sucks.
it really does break my heart, because I know why I'm doing it, and it's for the kids.
Yeah.
It is because like I know what it was like to go
Just
to
like
a high school and feel alone because my dad had just died and I was in a new school and I didn't have my friends, and my teachers were like huge influence on me. Huge. And there are thousands of kids who go through shit like that all the time. And they need someone. And I owe it to the universe to be there the way someone was there for me.
right. But see, but nowadays you're not able to actually teach because
I think the people who say that are mostly correct. I think I have the mind that is creative enough and stubborn enough to deal with the testing bullshit and find a way to still reach the kids.
You see, because that's kind of hard, like you said,
Oh,
because now the whole thing you're teaching is you're teaching a test. You're
Yeah.
not teaching people anymore.
Right.
And a lot of people that I talk to that are teachers have early succumbed to the fact that they early gave up because they came in with the mindset of, I'm here to inspire, I'm here to
Change,
mold
yeah.
the futures.
To make a difference.
And within the first 3 years of it, you're
Burnt out.
completely fucked over because
Yeah.
you're overworked.
They're not letting you teach.
Yeah, you're overworked, you're underpaid, underappreciated. And especially when it comes to, and the biggest part of this is when we had this pandemic, this proved everything. You know, because because we were supposed to have this interview, about 2 weeks ago, right? And we've had all kinds of shit. My son came down with COVID.
Is he okay now?
Yeah, he's good now. He's good now.
Good.
But the thing is with that, like when it comes to school, they're like, you know what? So my son, he's always been an AB guy, right? He's always been an AB honor roll cat. So to continue in that trajectory where he's able to continually learn, you'd figure, especially somebody who's already on that path, you would want to be teaching or be able to say, all right, so if you're going to be out because they're forcing you to be out for quarantine for X amount of days, they would have the live feed so you could still be in class, being able to learn. But the way this district does it is that they have a website that's called Schoology, and they'll go up there and they'll upload work for them to do. Nobody's going to teach it to them. They're going to have to teach themselves, and they're going to be graded on that work.
Yeah.
Now, good thing, bad thing. Good thing is you could do it at your own pace. And if he needs help, luckily we're here. We're able to help him out. Luckily, not everybody has that availability.
Right.
Now, with my daughter, because since her brother's quarantined, she has to be quarantined because, close contact. With her, the last time they updated her school, it was about 2.5 months ago, which is shit she already did. And they haven't updated it since. So what kind of fucking education are we providing these kids that they're not even able to actually have that opportunity with all the fucking money that we pay for the fucking taxes, because the taxes here where we're at in this district, in your district that you're running for, are fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
Outrageous. And we can't teach our kids.
Yeah.
And it's upsetting because, like I said, we're paying all this fucking money. All these taxes are coming out. Schools, the fucking superintendents are getting they get what, 1.6 mil or some shit like that.
Yeah.
They're getting money over money, or principals getting all kinds of new whips, all kinds of new shit.
It's top heavy.
Yeah.
Like all of our shit are contracts, and you can see that with Tommy Gonzalez. You can see that in superintendent. You can see that all over the place. We're super top heavy, and in my mind, one of the ways that we have to fix that is that, one, we need to aggressively, what's the word?
Forceful.
No, aggressively suggest some resignations of some like older leadership, promote from within, get some new ideas, but be like, okay, but it's not going to be quite what they were getting. We need to make some cuts and because like we can't afford it. Like we have so many issues that we are facing over the next handful of years. The pandemic just sped everything up,
Right?
And if we don't get ahead of it, I mean, it's going to wreck us.
Well, prior to the pandemic, weren't we broke as a city?
So, yes and no. I mean, we have we have a reserves, and we're building up a reserves, which is something that we hadn't done in the past.
Right.
This is something that recent administrations have started investing in, but we have a lot of debt, and so it's like, well, are we broke? No, we can still keep the city running. We're not like declaring bankruptcy, but we do have all this debt that's not getting any smaller.
That was part of our debt.
That's
part of our debt.
It's like only $20,000 on the credit card, but you're just paying the minimum payment every day. You're never gonna get out of that hole.
I'm just paying paying the late fee. That's all it is.
What's your minimum payment? $10? I got you,
Here's
man.
12.
Got some on it.
12.
I don't got it all, but I'll put some on it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. What was the question?
that we're broke, basically.
Oh yeah. So it's
we got reserves.
Yes, we have reserves. We can keep the city running, but we still have a lot of debt.
Yeah,
we have a lot of debt.
Because I know when they said that we were broke, and they're saying like, all right, guys, you know what, it's getting really bad. We're in debt, pretty much money. We're not gonna be able to do this. We're not gonna be able to do this road work. Next thing you know, there's fucking freeways going up. There's all kinds of construction fucking everywhere.
And the I-10 expansion is bullshit. If you walk away from this with one thing, the I-10 expansion is bullshit. They're gonna make us pay for that. TxDOT wants it. It's not like there's plenty of data that I don't know the names of the scientific papers and all that stuff that can prove that, one, that the expansion isn't going to do what they claim it's going to do, which is like relieve traffic and speed up times for trucks. One. Two, it's going to displace a bunch of homes and businesses in the downtown area to make space for that, which is bullshit, because it's like, no, they're already there. We don't need this. That's stupid. Three, TxDOT is only going to pay like a portion of it. TxDOT's the one who says, you need this. We want this, and you're going to do this, but you're going to pay for it. No, screw that.
Yeah.
Screw that. We say no, and then we just don't do it, and then we don't take on thousands, if not millions, and more debt. Like, no, it's we don't want that. And there are, if that's something that you want to see, like where people are on the left or are on one side or the other, find out who is supporting that project, because you will be surprised by like some of the people who are and aren't supporting the project.
So let me ask you, when it comes to taxes, how is it that El Paso, since we're so, I don't want to say, we're small-minded, right? Small town minded.
I would agree with that.
We're small town minded, but we pay the most fucking taxes in all of fucking Texas.
So taxes are complicated.
It's a lot of gray area.
Not that it's a lot of gray area.
Vote for Jules. Vote for Jules.
That's all I can say about that.
Succinct. I like that.
You go with the Forrest Gump answer. That's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
Straight up politician answer right there.
Okay. We're poor. That's the truth.
Yeah.
We don't have money. Dallas, I'm sorry, not Dallas. Austin bought their utility back in like 19 something early forever ago when it was still like a reasonable purchase. That's where a lot of their money comes from.
Okay.
We don't own El Paso Electric. El Paso Electric is its own thing and it's its own monopoly, and like, you know, that's why they can raise their prices and do whatever the hell they want, and we can just drag our feet, but really ultimately prices still go up. If for a long time we've kind of gotten by on our low cost of living and the low amount of money, and it was like we were just in our corner and we were fine, like we were kind of like self-sustaining, but external costs have made things like go up all around. There's more money everywhere else, and we're feeling the result of having to keep up with that in the way of like police and fire salaries, you know, the cost of development. You know, we have to keep up with these things. And then at the same time, people in El Paso are like, well, we want amenities, we want quality of life, we want libraries and museums and all these things. And well, I wish those were
They're
more
not
part of the city, because then that money would go into the
subsidized.
city.
That's what you should hit.
Yeah.
That's what you need to come in and be like, me and Isabel will we'll put Isabel to strip. And we'll fucking
do a fundraiser there.
we know
build
some
around
workers.
that.
Man,
Build around that.
You know, it might get to that point. I really need to fundraise.
Right? Make El Paso great again.
Oh my God.
Make all your wildest dreams come true. Go for Pedro.
Oh shit.
That's the truth of the matter, is that we don't have money here, and we've gotten hung up on this idea that if we make ourselves a tourist destination, then the money will come. And so we build a ballpark and we build water parks and all this stuff, and it's like
Kind of.
like
Like
kind
the
of
water park.
parks,
Yeah,
or-
kind of water parks.
I agree, and like
Well, I mean, they
Say-
have
the stadium's beautiful.
But let's be honest, like El Paso is not a tourist
it's
attraction.
not.
They had
and
a
it's not
chance.
going to happen. And you know, there's an argument for like ecotourism and the hiking and all that. You know what? I don't do any of that stuff, so I'm not going to say it doesn't exist, and I'm not going to say there's not a crowd for it.
I'll say it.
Well, but do I think the El Paso is going to see the same amount of tourism for our hiking to the level that like Dallas sees for the Cowboys, or that San Antonio sees for the Alamo and the Riverwalk and Six Flags, or Austin sees for Sixth Street? No, we're not going to get there, and we need to look for our strengths, and what our strength is we're the 10th sunniest city in the world, 6th sunniest in the country. Sweet. We need to start spending money and energy on solarizing and getting El Paso to become the Saudi Arabia of the solar market.
Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
We'll get that Saudi money.
Yeah.
We
You see,
Or make the biggest
sun.
truck stop in the world.
Oh my god.
Bring that Buc-ee's over here, bro. They have awesome
they have all
jerky.
kinds of shit.
We could
go out
we
my
could
way for that.
absolutely own the solar market, and there's billions on the table to be taken, and we could do it. Tesla just like got rights to have an electric company in El Paso. I would more than happily have Musk at the
Yeah.
table and be like, sure, put the heat on El Paso Electric, give them a reason to sweat.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I don't give a fuck. They're not contributing to my campaign.
Yeah.
Like, and Musk is all about like the furtherment of society and mankind and
He's an
everything. Like,
alien.
he's gonna say what?
He's a fucking alien.
He's, you know what? I don't.
You
I'm
can
not
call
like
him
a
that.
Yeah, they could-
fan
they're
of
called that.
Musk, but he,
he's
you know,
an alien.
he's a devil that you work with. I mean, he's the one who's backing solar and
Yeah.
who's like
Yeah.
backing these investments and stuff like that. And if I went up to him and told him, look, I want you to make El Paso like the first solar city of the country, and like we could do it. We have enough sunlight to do it. Like make it happen. He'd get his nut off of that. He'd love that kind of thing. And I mean, like we'll throw Musk names on some stuff and you know, pat his ego.
Yeah.
There's the money. But the fact of the matter is we need money. We're in trouble right now. And so like it's thoughts like that I'm going to be bringing to the table as a city representative.
You see, and that's different because, you know, like you said, so many people like with Pickett who's been in the politician world for 30, 40 fucking years. They have the same fucking
Ideas.
what's
And-
worked in the past is going to work in the
Right,
future, which
exactly.
isn't going to help us
Yeah.
get to where we
Old-minded.
need to
Yeah,
get.
and that's why I veered towards the Barry Sanders. You know what I'm saying? And
What's your pronoun again?
and Andrew Yang, because they're
Gang
thinking differently. Like they're being like, you know what, the times are changing. We need to change with the times. We can't just be back in the old days. You know what I mean? If everything's changing, then we have to change with it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And just people that refuse to change.
And to your comment on that, he already lost. He's not playing this
Barry
like in a
Sanders?
winning. No, Yang, because of the third
You're
party.
retired.
The third party thing. He's doing something totally different. He's fighting to get us out of the duopoly. He wants
It's not gonna
he
happen.
wants more than two. He wants more than 3 parties. He's looking at like 5, 6, or 7. The way
I
like
want
some
no
of the other
parties.
countries. And
Now I'm all
there's
confused.
there's a lot of
He's
good
a
to that.
polygamist, in other words. He's trying to get all kinds of bitches.
The more the better for me.
And you're right. Like it's those kinds of ideas that those are the new bold ideas that we need to try if we're going to come out of this because
Right. See, it's so
Gotta spice it up.
crazy, man. Yeah, you got to do something different. You can't just do missionary all the time. You got to do something different. Now and then you got to slap her ass and pull her hair.
You
and
got
all
to put
that
mirrors on top sometimes.
You got to do all that good shit. But it's like I said, it's difficult because El Paso had a chance to be that tourist attraction. We almost had Six Flags.
Well, didn't we get offered all that stuff before, or is that
but
just
the people in power at that time wanted? They're offering, say for example, they're
Riverwalk
offering
and all
like
that shit?
8% fucking on.
Well, even
taxes.
then, like back then, the people that vote are the older generation,
Right.
The younger generation,
Yeah, they didn't
does
want
not
that
give a
shit
fuck.
here.
They don't want that shit because when you bring in more people, you're bringing
drugs
crime.
and whores.
You bring
Drugs and
crime.
whores.
That's why they don't want El Paso to become
Well, that's
like a
here already,
metropolitan
though.
area, is because of the crime.
Right.
That's their argument for it.
Yeah, and they just
And it's not like our crime isn't an issue right now. It's not like it's not like we are still one of the safest cities, but like in the east side, in
we've
this
been
district in
shooting people
particular,
like motherfuckers.
like people are it's on the rise. People are stressed out. There's a lot of factors going into it, and again, like it just seems like
fucking COVID?
no, for real though.
Yeah.
And the answer has been like, oh, we need to add more cops, and it's like, well, we need to be smarter about policing. Like, we need to be smarter about the responses that we're sending. We need to be smarter about the resources that we're spending, and that doesn't always mean like turning to more cops. Like Austin just voted down this proposition that was going to require them to hire a bunch more police officers.
But
and
Austin is going to be the new California, which is going to go to shit pretty soon because they're bringing all the California ideas.
Hey.
Because if you see, because they already have their homeless tent cities everywhere.
No, they do need some Febreze and shit.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? That shit stinks there, bro. It smells like piss. But I mean, it's a nice city. It's a nice city.
Just walk around with a Febreze. That's all you
Yeah.
have to do.
But yeah, they need that. You know that timer, like the
Just
one in the
fucking-
bathroom. And you, every
hit everybody.
10 seconds.
Everyone has a holster now, so just put a little Febreze in your holster.
Hell yeah.
Pop that shit in there. You got a gun on one side. You got
Right
Febreze
there,
on the other side.
disinfected. Your gun, your rifle, your samurai in the back. You good?
Hit him with the breeze, boy.
Yeah,
Hit him with the breeze. One time. One time.
Yeah, 2 times. 3 times.
Double tap. Double tap. Double tap. So I got a question for you. If you were able to get it, so if you're able to oust, what was her name again?
Isabel,
that one. Yeah, if you're able to oust her, would you? What would you do for would you be able to do something for the youth to help them? Because I know you said the times are tough right now. Times are crazy, and these guys are getting overstressed, and it seems like nowadays our youth are all pussies, and they need our youths, and they need some kind of. I don't want to say what's the word?
But we're raising them pussies, bro. We're
not raising them. We're not raising them. We're not raising them.
We raised them.
Is that we're not raising them as in
YouTube is raising them? YouTube is raising them.
Well, we're letting them.
I don't got time for that shit. Yeah, but is there going to be any kind of outlet where you're going to be focusing to helping out these kids to deal with the, like you said, since there's so many shootings that are going up now, and it seems to be the younger generation because everybody's too scared to take an ass whooping now. Is there anything that you can do as far as for an outreach to these kids to try to help?
Yeah, line them up, punch them in the chest, each one of them, one time.
Just one time?
Yeah, you know where you think you're gonna die. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Where
you
you
gotta
lose
push
your
your
brain.
chest
in.
Each one, just so they know that they could get checked.
Right,
You know what I'm
get a
saying?
little taste of the devil.
Yeah, a little. Hey, come here.
Maybe work
Bam.
your way up to that Negan style. Put them all online, but only
Yeah.
choose a couple of them,
shit.
and just kind of bounce around and just make them a little nervous. That way, you don't have to hit all the kids.
No, you got to hit
You
them.
ain't gotta hit them all. I mean, I hit most of them though. I had to go out my way for some.
99%.
And twice. Twice.
Once on each side.
No, it's gonna help them. They'll cry. It's gonna help them though.
You know, I have a mentor, professor, teacher who's a
Sensei?
child psychologist.
Sensei,
I think he's a
you Cobra Kai.
he has done a lot of work, and one of the things that I would like to bring up, because we're already inside of this topic, is the child spanking and like the science and psychology behind it and stuff like that. Like I would love to.
That shit works.
It's debated.
I say it fucking worked on me.
You know, and here's the thing: is I got hit as a kid too, and like I can remember the handful of times that I got hit, and because that was the handful of times that I needed to get hit, and that was all that I got hit.
Oh, that's why they fucked up. It's got to be more than that.
Well,
It's got to be more.
Because there's shit that I really wanted to do.
It.
If I went with my gut feeling and did what I wanted to do, man, I'd be fucked up.
Yeah.
But I know I'm gonna get my ass whooped, so I changed my mind. That's what stopped me.
But that's the thing. Like if you continue to do it and you continue getting your ass whooped, I'm like, it's not fixing what you're doing.
Well, you're retarded. Can you say that? I mean, I don't.
We just did.
So,
But that's
did.
pretty much every kid though. Like every kid that, hey, just give me an ass whooping. I don't care. I'll get over in 5 seconds.
Yeah, but after a while, it gets tiring. I was that kid.
Exactly. So you're retarded, man.
I am, kinda, a little bit. But anyways,
I think is very reasonable science behind the fact that like we're doing more damage than good.
Fuck
And
that.
I know.
Well, that was
fake news.
And you know,
fake news.
There's a very
That's because these two guys are like 60 years old.
No.
More around my age range.
I listened to a couple episodes and I was like, this is exactly the podcast I want to go on
shit.
because it's like I
right.
feel like
Aim low.
Aim low.
Aim low.
The motherfucker comes out. Give him a trophy. He's a winner.
there were a couple of times where I was yelling at you, man. I was
What you yelling at me for?
about
Why you yelling at me for, motherfucker?
the staff.
We can hear you now.
The staff. About that topic and like just like no man we got to get away from the conspiracy stuff and
never.
But anyway, that's another
That's
another
somebody
episode.
that in the establishment would
point
say.
is I think it's a cultural thing. It's very deeply imbued and I respect that and I understand that and I'm
Keep it going.
only going to present the information that changed my mind
Okay.
in a way that is unobtrusive and like, look, this is just a science. This is what changed my mind. This is why, and it's just information for you. And I'm not gonna take on the fight of making that change. I'm just gonna present the information and let the seeds take root.
Fuck your kids up. That's what needs to happen sometimes. Sometimes some kids need to be fucked up.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like I agree with that. Like fuck them up. But
Now, for the record, I never spank my kids, but I'm saying I would though. I would.
No, but what I'm saying, like when you try like the friendly route, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna take away your shit.
Shit don't work.
I'm gonna take away this.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, okay, I'm gonna fucking backhand you. You know what I mean? You backhand them, and then if they continue to doing the fucking wrong thing, I'm like, obviously that doesn't work.
I'd rather get smacked than be on restriction.
Exactly. So that's
Yeah.
the way. That to me, that's the way I want to raise my kids.
This is
Well,
one of
you
the
know what?
reasons why I'm never gonna have children.
The things,
No, seriously.
like the things that
I didn't want any
the things
either.
that they want, the things that they want, you take that shit away. I'm like, they'll fucking like cry and
It's just
cry
fun
and
making
cry.
them.
As
Yeah.
opposed to getting spanked. You getting spanked, they'll cry for 5 seconds. Like, all right, I'm good.
You're good.
I'm
No,
good.
see, this
He'll
this-
remember the pain.
This is
Until
where
next time.
this is where the
Next time
level.
they'll just run away from you. That's
You see,
it.
this is where you got to keep your kids honest. This is what I learned when I was growing up. So when I fuck up, I'm expected to black out. I'm expected. I'm gonna get.
I'm gonna
spanked.
lose 10 minutes of my life
I'm
that I'll
gonna-
never get
I'm
back.
gonna lose a couple of brain cells. I expect that already.
No, I'm expecting that. I'm expecting Friday. My dad gonna get home. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" And Sunday, I'm gonna wake up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting. But then,
What if you don't wake up?
you see, but this is no.
You deserved it.
You gonna wake up, and now you
You
know.
deserve to die.
You
And
did
now-
that to yourself, son.
And now you know.
You forgot to take out the trash. You're gonna kill you at.
Now you know. You see, that way you learn. You see, but then the way you got to keep them, the way they kept me honest, is when I did something good, I get that ass whooping too. Because you never know when the ass
Yeah.
whooping is
You
coming.
gotta keep them on this toes.
You gotta keep
You
'em
gotta
on the rope.
still. You gotta smack
just-
your kids when they're not expecting. Hey,
It
what's
just
up?
sounds like you were
Bam,
getting
know?
beat as a child, man.
Yeah, I mean, some would say getting beat, some would say getting life lessons. Is what how I was told.
Yeah, you teach them betrayal. Like you'll swear to God, I swear to God, I'm not gonna hit you. Put your hands down, and you smack them anyways.
Yeah.
because you can't trust anyone.
You can't trust them all.
There's a lesson to be learned there.
That's some Shaolin shit.
Yeah.
You gonna teach you some monk shit.
Yeah, come here.
But you see, so a lot of these studies are probably made by dudes that got their ass kicked on the daily, so they made it look. So you see, Mama, I told you shouldn't be hitting me. Well, those fucking those data could be fucking skewed.
Yeah, but don't kick their ass
Yeah.
when you're drunk.
Yeah,
You
no,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Don't
no.
do that.
No, because then
You gotta
don't know
be
when to
a
stop.
sound mind.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I'm not gonna drink today because I'm gonna fuck you up.
Right, it's gonna be a thoughtful ass whooping. It's a
Alright.
thoughtful ass whooping.
But like, all right. So let me because
Let
I see
let me
that
bring it
line.
down.
I see
Let
that
me
your
bring it
line you're
down.
walking.
Rich,
and I
you're about to get your
appreciate
ass whooped.
There ain't no line.
We don't make you think twice.
There ain't no guessing here. You gonna get your ass- No, it's just it works. It works.
it. Okay,
Pain works.
Sometimes.
but is that the route we want to be going?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I mean, if you see that it works, but then you also see that it does do other stuff too, right? Like you
Like
see,
what?
like the
Well, because some of these
are
parents, man, they're
subconscious-
drunk when they're beating their kids.
Yeah.
That's good. And that's the thing. Like to me, it feels like there's no compromise between being a pussy and like being like a responsible adult.
I
Like,
don't know.
it's like-
I don't
it's-
think I'm totally
no.
responsible.
No,
I'd like
no.
to think I'm semi-responsible.
But that's the thing. Like everyone should have personal responsibility.
Yeah.
you know, and that's what
For sure.
that's what makes you like a better person.
and
I would think so.
I would argue
And
that
it-
we've advanced enough as society that we can teach our children how to be responsible beings without hitting them.
No, it's
No, but
Pain
you can
compliance
try and
works.
You can try and
No.
teach them, but at the same time,
bullshit,
they
man.
have to be fucking like. You live in the world that the world's not gonna fucking be happy all the time.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
You live in a world that will fucking slap you right in the face, and you have to be able to adjust to that.
Sure.
And when you are being
At
raised-
random times.
well,
Yes.
when you're being raised by nothing but rainbows and sunshine, and you go out to the real world, and the real world fucking slaps you, it's like, oh fuck, do I just fucking
Turn around and
get
run?
in the fetal
Yeah.
position and like, hey, or mom, dad, can you come and fix it?
Right.
Like, no,
Yeah.
no, you have to have that little. It's hard, but you have to try and find that little compromise to the point where it's okay to raise my kid to have feelings.
Yeah.
You know what? But at the same time, I'm gonna raise my kid to be fucking hard. You know
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
don't raise them to be crying all the fucking
No,
time.
that's the thing. Like, if he wants
Do
to
you
cry,
need to cry?
No,
I'm a crier.
I'm gonna raise
I'm a crier.
I'm gonna raise my kid. I'm gonna raise my kid. If he wants to cry, go ahead and cry. But if he calls you a pussy, you fuck his up. You fuck his ass up. You know what I mean?
That's what you should do.
What you call me?
Yeah.
Say it again.
Then you cry together at the end of the ass whooping.
Yeah. Go ahead and
See,
cry, but
that's why you
talk
gotta
shit,
learn how
fuck
to
him up.
do responsible ass whooping. Like you said,
Yeah.
you can't just whoop his ass because it's fucking Wednesday and it's gonna fucking.
Just enough that they want to black out.
Yeah.
They want to, but don't black them out.
You can't cock all the way
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
No,
Just like
you
right.
go
Pow.
50%.
Yeah.
You go 50% ass whooping because you can't have it like a routine.
No
ass whooping.
haymakers, just jabs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because if you go routine ass whooping, that ain't gonna teach nothing.
No.
If it's
They already
Wednesday,
know it's scheduled.
Yeah,
No,
if it's
no,
Wednesday 3 p.m., I'm gonna fucking stay later because I'm
No.
gonna get my ass
Yeah.
kicked.
No.
You gotta
Just
throw
a-
every fucking Wednesday and Sunday and
from
shit
your
in
weak
there.
hand and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Weak hand.
They're pouring Kool-Aid still on them.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
You gotta just drop kick a motherfucker every now and again, man. That's how you fucking learn. But so what's up? Are we gonna whoop kids' ass or what?
I'm not gonna have kids, so I
We're
don't
gonna have a
to
sergeant of
worry
arms.
about it.
Like,
So
I'm not gonna have
to
kids,
answer
so
your
no
question,
opinion.
though, I did have an idea for something I wanted to kind of like start. So I was in the Scouts when I was
I
growing
can see
up.
it.
I could see.
No
Yeah.
wonder you don't. No wonder you. Got
What
it.
happened? Come here, bring it in.
Are the stories true?
Bring it in.
Are the stories true?
Not that I know of.
Scum leader.
I mean, not in my personal experience. So I wanted to do what I kind of like a Scouts thing, like
See,
I
now
wanted
you're
to
going
start
down
it out
that
with
Michael
the high-
Jackson shit.
No. Calm down. I wanted to kind of work with the high schools to work with to set up like a youth engagement thing called I was going to call it the League of Extraordinary Citizens, like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but a little more inclusive.
gay.
Oh well,
That is gay.
fine. Anyway, that's okay. And give a place for like the students to rally and start putting them to work, volunteering in the city, getting them engaged with like the local governments,
it's
local
called probation.
organizations.
That's called probation.
Yeah. So you have child labor.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well,
Clean
yeah.
the freeway.
That's called Mexico, sir.
Do you not want your taxes to go down? How else are we going to fix all
Here's
these
this
issues?
orange vest.
I mean, kind of, but like, here's the thing: if you give kids the opportunity to do something and to make a difference, they'll do it. Like, I mean, if you put your kid in front of the YouTube all day, then yeah, they're gonna watch YouTube all
Well,
day.
give them a trophy. Tell them they're
that's
gonna
the
get a
thing.
trophy at the end and shit because they're all winners.
I
But
don't
that's the
care.
thing,
But
like-
the thing is, we don't have anyone giving them the opportunity. We don't have anyone going through all the work and saying, "Okay, I'm going to organize this."
Because they're
event
fucking playing
so that
video
we-"
games.
Exactly. Like,
No. We don't have a leader, a city leader, who's creating these programs and putting in the time and work and talking to the teachers at the school and saying, I need you to get these kids together. I need you to bring them here. And then we're going to like clean up this park, or we're going to go clean up this trail, or we're going to go, volunteer
Yeah.
at the senior centers and like go play board games and stuff with them.
No, tackle football.
You don't want to go.
You're
to
allowed to
this-
play tackle
Remember that
football.
game, Smear the Queer?
Oh, you can't say it.
I see. I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that.
Yeah,
but
have you
bring that back.
Was that your line? Was that the line where you're
No,
like,
no,
I
no.
better not say
No,
that?
no, no.
You can go ahead and change the word
But
up,
change the
yeah,
wording.
you can change the wording.
Change the
but-
wording, but bring that
Smear
game
the
back.
guy with the football.
Yeah, smear the guy.
Smear the
no, you
fear.
can't say that.
Smear the fear.
Oh, smear the person with the
fear.
football.
Smear the fear.
Smear they.
Smear they.
Smear they. Smear they.
Smear everyone.
It includes everyone.
Smear everyone.
Smear they is only one.
But just
You guys are fun. I gotta come back.
No,
You
if
guys
it just-
let me come back.
But you can't take on the senior citizens.
Just to piggyback on your point, like like it sounds like a great idea.
Sure.
Like by all means, I would love my kids to fucking go out and explore and everything, as opposed to just being on the iPad, on YouTube and everything. But that's the thing, it's gonna be hard. YouTube iPads, that's the new babysitter.
Yeah.
Because it's so convenient.
I like
that's
them.
the thing. And over here, like, when you say like, okay, we're gonna get these kids and take them here, take them back. You know what? It's inconvenient for the parent. The parents now have to take that kid, drop them off over here when the parent is busy as fuck already. Like it's not gonna be suitable. Like now, if you're gonna
'Cause they're paying taxes.
If you're gonna have like a bus driver come picking up every single kid at their household, then
Sure.
okay, that's more convenient.
But there's
And-
more
and-
money going into that because you got to pay the bus driver.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, and these are
All
all
I'm
these are
hearing
all
is
little
taxes.
details that like these are details that need to be worked through. But there are like grants and programs and things for this. We just need someone who's there to do the work and to apply for them. And like as far as
Elon
kids now,
Musk.
the kids, Musk can throw in some money too.
Bring
Yeah,
that flamethrower he has. That shit.
for the league, it's not going to be a citywide thing. It's
just
going to be a
for the-
district thing. So it's my high schools, which is going to be El Dorado and Pebble Hills High School. So like it would be really cool if other representatives decided, cool, like I'm just going to copy what he's doing and paste it over here, and then
Battle
we'll start,
Royale.
like-
I don't think.
Fucking high schools are going to.
I don't think it'll work at Andrews.
You can have a smear
putting
they,
that out there.
Smear they league.
And so it's all like all these like ideas and programs I have. A lot of it's going to be like very much prototype within just the district, and hopefully setting an example for other representatives, and then for in the future for more people to run and to kind of like I'm gonna like leave a template, so it's like, okay, this is how I was running all these meetings, these are who I was interacting with and things like that,
Right.
so that I pass that on, and the work doesn't just go to shit.
You see, but like I said, make sure you keep them out of the senior citizens because there's a lot of fucking STDs and them senior citizens be fucking. There's a lot of fucking.
I
guns.
actually really admire the senior citizens and their centers because they held the city reps to the fire over those senior
Look at
centers.
them better to do besides
Exactly. Well, yeah.
fuck. They'd be fucking and they'd
And,
be
like,
looking at the.
they you know what, they showed up to city council meetings because I watch every city
They got a
council
lot of free
meeting
time.
they do, and one person I said, when Isabel did first get elected, she did have meetings, like she did have a couple of town hall meetings or whatever, or like meet and greets, and they're all at 10 a.m. when everyone's at work, and it's like, well,
Except for the old
who's-
people.
yeah, which are the people who
Shit,
showed up,
I'm
and it's
still
like,
on my second dream at
like-
that.
it's like, who's gonna show up at those meetings? Like, you need to have them at different times throughout the days, throughout the week, and like, that's what I'm talking about, putting in that effort.
Yeah.
Or at the
You
bingo
keep looking at
halls
your
or-
clock. Am I?
No, I'm not looking at.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all. I was just looking at some other stuff over here. Looking at porn,
Man,
They released some new
really
shit.
boring, huh?
right? Just to see how to whoop my kid's ass without getting in trouble.
Well, open hand.
Let's say you get elected like on day one. What
Day one, one of the
what's like priority? What do you have to fix over here on the east side?
Okay, to fix on
For your
really early on, the first thing
Walking
I
with
wanted
one of
to
the
do
Negan
was,
bats. But anyways, go ahead.
one of the first things I wanted to do is have a town hall for everyone and invite the people who didn't vote for me.
If they didn't vote for you,
If-
they're not gonna show up to talk to you.
Well, I'm still gonna try and
Like it's sad to say, like no, the fact is that
No, I get that.
I'm not saying the people that didn't vote for you. I'm like the people that didn't vote for you and the people that didn't vote.
Oh no.
Like all.
Oh,
of
the
them,
ones that voted but
like-
didn't vote for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I. The
I
ones
think
that
how you
didn't vote
word it
for
though,
me.
you got to talk shit to them. Like,
No.
like just put like all these motherfuckers. Just the way I'm saying it, like you motherfuckers that didn't vote for me.
Show
You
up.
want to talk shit? I'm here. What up?
I mean,
That's
kind
it.
of.
Let's
Kind
do
of.
it.
That is kind of what I want to accomplish.
Don't
though.
put
It's
it nicely, though.
If you didn't vote for me, I want you to show up and I want you to talk to me about why. And if like you didn't know me, you didn't recognize my name, cool. Like we can work through all that personal stuff. But there are going to be people who are like, you're inexperienced, you don't have, your inexperience is one that I've heard of concern about, which is kind of fair. But then at the same line, like it's entry level government. Like how
Like,
much
do you guys-
experience am I
like,
supposed to have?
Is there a
Like,
platform where you guys conduct debates?
That's up to the people, and like if people want to, if organizations and clubs and groups want to have that and invite people, they can. And
Call
if,
them out.
If candidates want to participate,
bring the
they
guys
can.
over here.
I'd love
Yeah.
to
Bring it to the
show up
podcast.
and-
I already see you.
that.
I already see you.
We can make
thinking.
this into a octagon. You know,
settle
I'll
this
tell you.
real
Yeah,
quick.
Battle Royale.
celebrity death match.
And so, that's one of the early things. That's one of the things
Yeah.
I want to get kicked off. As far as district wide, the number one concern across the city and across the district is streets. The way to fix that is looking at the budget. And so I'm going to be a budget fiend, and I'm going to have meetings. And that's another thing. I'm going to schedule meetings with everybody.
Speaking of
And, like,
streets, Ventanas, man, that street's fucked up right there. You got to fix that one for sure. The traffic is horrible. Put some speed bumps.
Right.
Fix the holes and then put speed bumps on.
On top, put the speed bumps on
Yeah,
top of the holes.
Yeah, man, because they haul ass there.
Yeah.
And
Go back to riding horses, man.
Let's say Fabin's. Let's say Fabin's son. We're advanced.
it's all about prioritizing. I mean, if
Ventana should
we
be on
have,
top.
like you said, we pay a bunch of money into
Yep.
it. The money is there, but we're spending half the amount on next year's fiscal budget for improving our streets as we would need to get them all to a passing grade. So we need to spend $44 million to get them to a passing grade. We're spending $20 million,
44 million, is that in 1 year, or is that like a span?
That's no
of-
Paso
Wow.
shit.
and that's that's
Well, the passing
just
grade on Ventanas
passing
is 98 miles per hour, bro. Because them motherfuckers be all in that.
fuck
we're
it.
gonna we're getting a study done, a PCI study, which grades all the streets in the city, and then the city council uses this data to prioritize which streets get worked on. So within a couple of months, you're actually going to be able to look up the street, and then you'll see its grade, and then see where it ranks, and then the top ones, because we only have half the money to improve them all, only a certain amount are going to get fixed.
Well, maybe not fix
But-
the holes. It slows them down a little bit.
But but looking
more.
into the budget,
Add
starting
more.
to schedule those meetings, and yeah, digging into the budget and looking for those cuts to make, because that's what everyone wants. Everyone wants to get relief on their taxes. They want to get they want to get the streets fixed. They want things paid for, and then it all boils down to the budget. So
It's like we should put like a grade like on the street signs. Like this street is a A. Like just how you
Like
do
the
it.
You know,
restaurants.
that-
like
like
the
how-
restaurants.
yeah, like how you do it restaurants and shit.
I
But it's
mean-
like, so you're about to turn on the street. Oh, it's a
Like, oh.
fucking F. Fuck that shit. I don't want to fucking
Right.
get no fucking.
I'm about to tell Google Maps to
blow out
avoid
my,
this
how to
shit.
blow out my tires. I'll just go straight. Take
I
the
would
street.
put all the main streets as F's so they can
relieve the stress.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
put dead ends as A pluses.
Yeah, because the fucking traffic on Malwood is a motherfucker.
yeah, we're
No
getting
matter what
that's-
fucking time it is. It's
that's-
2 a.m. Is fucking
I don't know what else you could do there though. Like, there's just it's fucked.
Yeah, it's
Raise the taxes. People stop, people will stop living over here.
Shit. That's not gonna help.
Maybe another overpass.
Like 3 more. That ain't
Three
gonna
more?
do shit.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna
Create a spaghetti bowl in that motherfucker.
Fuck it, flying
Some
cars.
that don't lead anywhere.
just keep going in circles.
Just keep going. The wrong one, motherfucker. And keep them busy for a while.
Oh shit! All right, Rich. So we're coming up in about an hour and a half, dude.
Cool.
We,
How'd I do?
I don't know.
You had a good
You gonna bring
time.
me back?
You ain't-
You guys like me?
You're not done yet.
No disrespect, but every politician says like they want to make a difference.
Oh, for
And
sure.
It's until we actually see it.
You actually see him in the seat, and
not just
I
that.
am.
It's easy for a politician to get corrupted. It's
And
it goes hand in hand, basically.
It's part of the job.
It's hard not to be corrupted.
Absolutely. And you know who talks about this? Andrew Yang.
Yeah, he's
He
corrupt.
mentions
Yeah,
he's corrupt too.
Yeah, he's not an elected official yet. But
No,
when
he-
if he becomes one, he'll probably be
he
corrupted.
mentions that the system itself is the problem. It's the system
Right.
that corrupts the people, and that
The system allows
in
it.
Congress, especially, that like there are people who go into Congress who say all the right things and mean all the right things, but the system is set up in a way that they're set up to fail because they have to like grit their teeth and vote along party lines and go along with the things that have always been, and just like the leadership is calling all the shots, and it corrupts them.
Right.
And you know, maybe the city rep position is like that. Maybe it does corrupt people. But I'm willing to give it my best shot to see if I can stand up to it. And I'm willing to stand up and put myself in front of the people as frequently on any podcast and any group meeting, town hall, and I will use that as my guide. That will be my North Star to make sure that I'm being held properly accountable. I mean, in my mind, because I don't have any ties to politics, because I don't have any any corruption in me, I'm like one of the few only people who can say it and actually keep to it. And I'm very interested in keeping to it and proving people wrong and saying our government can work for you. Your city representative can represent you, and you can be proud of it.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question. If someone were to ask you, I'll give you $1 million to not run, would you take that $1 million?
$1 million,
Yeah.
cash monies right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
You got it outside?
Not taxed.
Not taxed.
Not taxed.
So here's the thing. I don't give a shit about money.
Okay.
I have a hobby where
Yeah, well,
I
you're gonna be a
collect
teacher.
autographs.
You're a teacher. That's evident. That's
Yeah,
evident.
I collect autographs from celebrities on shot classes. And the people who collect autographs collect it because they're like, oh, this is my retirement plan. And they were like, the groups that I'm in, oh, yeah, there's money in it. And the groups that I'm in,
shot glasses.
like, oh, yeah, on shot glasses.
We're in the wrong business.
And like, people are
I
like,
never knew
you
there
have to
was a market
collect.
for that.
There's not. That's the thing, is
Yeah.
that, like, I do it because I
fuck?
love it, because I enjoy it. And
Are you
it's
that
my
motherfucker
personal
that
hobby.
bought? Are you that motherfucker that bought a bag of Kanye's Air at the
No,
fucking
no.
Downtown costume? Are you the one for the fuck? He's gonna Amazon.
These
They're
are,
selling on.
I get
for
I get
eBay.
autographs from like actors and creators and people who I admire their work.
Who's
and
your
things like
who's
that.
your
Hang on, the point being, we'll get into that. But the point being is that I was going to spend my life, that hobby is just burning money. I was going to spend my life teaching, which is not a profession for money.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about money. I want to make sure I have rent paid and like my car payment, and I can eat and all the basic necessities and everything like that. But like, I'm of the mind that the world is like facing some cataclysmic changes over the next decade, and if we don't get our shit together, money doesn't matter. So if I have to be one of the people who steps up and says, oh, like, I guess this timeline, my life is just not living in the material successes, fine. I'm okay with that. But give me the chance to prove you wrong and say and show that like someone can do it.
Okay, when I get $1 million, I'll offer you that.
Yeah, we got about. Let's see where you're at.
Oh, show me the money.
Give it
Show me the money. Let's do it.
We got about $18 accumulated.
17
If we were to
cents.
give you $18, will you stop running?
Yeah.
Come on,
Very
let's put
tempting.
feet to the fire.
Very tempting.
Feet to the fire.
and some lint
A random button. A random button.
and this wrapper.
Oh, and so if you were gonna ask me a question.
Oh yeah,
Shot
who was
glasses.
that? The shot glass. Who's your, like the
Top one?
The top one. Like
So that's a
you're
tough
not getting rid
question.
of this one.
Well, that's toughy because the very first one I got was Blink 182. I got all three members of Blink 182.
Wait a minute.
on-
Did you say that's a toughie?
Yeah.
First of all, don't use that
That's
fucking
toughie.
shit. You're gonna fucking lose already. I'm gonna be your campaign manager.
This
Don't
one's a
use
toughie.
that bullshit.
Yeah, I could use all the
Don't
help.
be
I
using
can
a
get.
toughie. You're out.
All right.
You're fucking.
That's kind of like
That shit's hard, man.
That's like wedgie.
Oh, that's right.
That's a politically correct word.
It's like the word moist. It's just a fucking. Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
Anyways,
That's a difficult.
That's a wedgie.
That's a difficult decision.
Okay,
Because
anyways,
Blink 182 is
Blink-182.
my all-time favorite band,
Okay.
and they were the first shot class that I got signed.
Okay.
And
Sentimental value.
over in 2020, I started getting into through the mail, where you mail out stuff to get autographed, because there are some celebrities who do it, including Alex Trebek, the now
R.I.P.
late host of Jeopardy. And he did the autograph on the shot class and wrote what is it? Who knows? And it's Richard knows, like, when answering a question on Jeopardy. And then he wrote me a note on a card that I had sent him.
Wow.
It says, "Dear Richard, all my drinking glasses are much larger."
oh shit.
And I was like,
Yeah.
Alex Trebek is calling me a bitch. Like,
Well, you did send him a shot glass of sign.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I would send
so-
a picture of a keg.
that's a really cool
That
one.
was
That one's
cool.
one of a kind. You know,
Yeah.
he's no
Passed.
longer with us, and so it's difficult to say which one is my all-time favorite. If I do sell the collection, it would be like as a whole.
Oh, okay.
Like the whole collection, and it would go to probably like a bar or resort in Vegas that they could like put it up and then like keep adding to the collection whenever they get like guests
pretty
or
cool.
some.
So how many do you have right now? Give or take.
130 something.
How much do you think you get for that? Like 15, 17?
So if I
$18?
really oh my god, when I think about how much money I spend and then you say $18 and it's like maybe.
No, I mean,
Shot
okay,
glasses
20.
alone-
I'll
shot
give you
glasses
20.
alone.
I'll give
Like
you-
the shot glasses alone are worth probably like $100 something. Like if you clean them all off, like I've
A shot glass worth $100?
Yeah, I don't want a dirty one.
all 100 some odd
Oh.
like shot glasses just for the glasses.
Buy them in
themselves.
bulk, dog.
I do.
Amazon.
I do.
Amazon.com.
I buy them in boxes of 25 and then buy them in cases of 100 and like. Or,
That is some weird ass. Not to be.
no,
like,
don't
not
be
to be.
weird.
No, there's
Like,
people
weird
that
ass
collect
shit.
that
Yeah.
collect spoons and shit like
What?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like little. Yeah, it's weird.
Whatever you're into. Bro.
Yeah, I collect novelty and souvenir shot glasses like since I was a child, and so I
could see that.
as a Hispanic family, my family drank
A lot.
a lot at family gatherings, and so me and my cousins we would emulate them. We'd take shots of soda, we'd pour soda in soda caps, and like do that shit. Then when we were kids and shit, and I went to Walmart one day, and then I was walking down the party aisle with my mom and saw this shot glass that like has a little saucer that you push it into the bottom, and then like breaks a glow stick and it glows in the dark. And I thought 7-year-old me, oh my god, that's the coolest thing ever. So I got that shot glass so I could take shots of soda with my cousins. I forgot it at home and never left my shelf, and then went on a family vacation and saw a shot glass. I was like, oh, I'll put it with the other one, and that's how it started. And then like 20 years later is like, you know, I have 100 200 some odd souvenir novelty shot
I
glasses.
think that was the difference. Like my dad would be like, "Get me a beer." I'd open the beer and I'd drink it until like
Quality control.
yeah.
Quality control. So what step are you on your program right now?
I'm actually not a big drinker. I'll drink socially, but I don't really drink.
Did you ever graduate from soda?
I did.
I'm on the RC Cola.
I like wine.
Oh shit. Well, yeah.
Like
well,
craft beers, you know what? I've been going to like events and stuff like that, and they're all happening at breweries and stuff. And you know, you got to support local, especially when you're out there. So even if you got to like kind of.
Are you like a beer snob?
No, I'm not. Like
I'm not a beer
I'll
snob.
try.
No, you are.
I'll try one, and if it's good, awesome. And if it's not, well, whatever.
Yeah.
You know. But
I'm
like
just-
I'm
I'm
starting
just
to
selective. That's
I'm
it.
starting to get more and more like taste for it.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, hit up our boys at the Old Sheepdog.
Yeah.
Those guys got some crazy shit going on all
Nice.
the time.
He's got shit that you could drink with your pinky up. Like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
sheepdog. No, you know what? I was there for something. I drank some of the wine there and some of the beer there.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Yeah. No, we made a beer there many
Oh,
moons
really?
ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
two of them,
Two
actually.
of them. Yeah, two of them. Yeah,
Really?
one of them was the one we did for our 100th episode, right? We did the honey some shit.
Was that the Words on Fire one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The honey for 100th
They still
episode.
got it?
We did it. Nah, they sold
Oh.
out like
That was good.
Like 2 hours. They sold
Good
out.
shit.
Nice.
Did a
Yeah, but we have to do it
stout
again
also.
though. Yeah, we did a. No, you did a. What did you
It was
do?
a
A
stout.
blueberry some shit.
It was a stout.
It was a stout?
I was in there for that.
Yeah, no, you're a bitch.
That's a whole different show.
Yeah, it's a whole different. It's a whole different topic. All right, Rich. So you got an hour and like I said, an hour and a half and some change in it. Any last words you want to tell the people? Where can they find you first of all?
Definitely. So if you're interested in local politics, and if you live in the El Paso area, I really suggest you start paying attention to local politics. I try to make it as easy and accessible as possible. I'm self-deprecating and try to be funny and interesting, and it's very casual conversation. It's not like news media where it's like, and then this story, blah blah blah. I mean,
Right.
kind of, but I try to be a little more conversational about it, so that It's very El Paso. Like if you feel like it's just talking about it, like having it there in the back of your mind and you kind of chewing on it throughout the day, and then you mention it to someone else, and that's how that kind of thing spreads. So the El Paso Beat can be found on pretty much anywhere that you stream podcasts, Spotify, Google, Apple, Pandora, blah blah blah. I'm on all the social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and Nextdoor at the El Paso Beat.
You on TikTok?
And, no, not on TikTok. I'm too ugly for video, which is why I was like, oh man, I gotta get dressed up so that I don't look like a total piece of shit. So I'm not on TikTok. I'm of the age where it's like, oh, that's the next thing, and I'm not quite into that, and that's just too much time and energies that I'm
Fuck it, I got it.
And then I don't want to use it because like that stuff, like the algorithm is so good on that I hear that like you'll just sit in front of it for hours watching videos. Like I don't have the time for that, so I can't be doing that. So no, I'm not on TikTok. And then if you want to check out the campaign, you can go to Geneta for district5.com. That's GENERAFORDISTRICT, the number 5.com.
You slow that down.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, district.
This is El Paso.
Can you say that in Spanish?
And then I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Richard Geneta for EP District 5 or District 5, El Paso District 5. Some variation.
Put a
of
5
those.
in there.
Just throw 5 in there.
Yeah,
somewhere.
you'll find me. And yeah, check out the website. Check out the social medias. Please like and follow and share and support.
And just one more time, when's the election?
November 2022, November 8th, 2022. So I officially announced, quote unquote, in September.
Mm-hmm.
I can't actually get onto the ballot until next July. Okay. So all of this it's really early. It's super early, and typically city council campaigns are not ran this early, but this isn't a typical campaign, and I don't have all the money to just wait until the last minute and buy a bunch of signs and count on that. Like I have to do the work, so I'm doing the work.
Get some graffiti artist.
If you are an artist, a creator, if you listen to me and you're like into this and you're like, you know what, I believe in him, I'm gonna get him in there, I want to help whatever I can. I'm taking any help I can.
It on the
if you create
on
graphics or art or whatever that will help me in the
tag
campaign,
this wall.
hit me up. I'm all ears, and I appreciate it all.
All right, well, we appreciate you coming through.
Yes.
Awesome. Richard Geneta for District 5 here at El Paso. Remember, follow us on the Words on Fire podcast on the IG, thewordsonfire.com. Until next time, Rich, I think you're going to come back. We'll try to get you.
Let's do it.
Isabel, if I'm going to try to send her an email, see if she pushes us off like you.
Yeah, you know what? Because I know every campaign always has some type of slogan. We'll let you borrow our slogan, which is "Don't be a dick."
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick.
Because I'm Richard, right? And
Yeah.
Richard,
Oh shit! There you go.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. So till next time, guys. On Richard's behalf, on Jules, on Vince's behalf, don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. Deuces.